New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
Live from a secure concrete bunker somewhere in Ohio, New Thought Media Network presents Pastor Michael Mangus with Friday's Fireside Chat, spiritual conversation for today. Here he is from the secret radio room, surrounded by thousands of watts, Pastor Michael Mangus.
And as the thousands cheer in the background, hello there. Welcome to another fun-filled, thrill-packed, and guaranteed, always exciting edition of the Fireside Chat here on your New Thought Media Network. Pastor Michael Mangus, and I am broadcasting from the secret radio room, surrounded by thousands, and I mean thousands of watts, in the secure concrete bunker somewhere around Akron, Ohio, that is so top secret that only one person, and that is my producer, Diego Reyes, only he knows where the top secret bunker is located. Everyone else, including my boss, and he cringes when I say that, the chief inspirational officer of the New Thought Media Network, Reverend Robert Brzezinski, Reverend Briz, even he does not know where it's at, and we are going to keep it that way. We have a wonderful show for you tonight. Good to see everyone out there. Please feel free to interact with us by posting your comments on Facebook or StreamYard. And again, for all my shy people out there, don't be shy. Just send me a note during the week. Pastor Michael Mangus at gmail.com. Pastor Michael Mangus at gmail.com. So the purpose of our fireside chat here is for us to get real, for us to talk about contemporary issues from a new thought or spiritual perspective. And as I keep telling you week after week, I want us all to have a new thought about what is going on out there and our oneness with it. Now, last Sunday in Centers for Spiritual Living, the topic was the one and only. So we were talking about last Sunday throughout the Centers for Spiritual Living about that there is only one. So what is our connection with, and how can we bring about a world that does work for everyone? Oh, we have a very special guest in our green room right now. Meditation teacher and corporate trainer, Cynthia Henderson. I met Cynthia through our common friend, through the late Reverend Dr. Charlotte Manning. So today we'll be talking about how to handle everyday stress, especially when it becomes overwhelming. Check out our website at meditatewithcynthia.com, meditatewithcynthia.com. There and only there you can get information about our classes and customized, yes, truly customized meditations for you or someone that you love at a pretty affordable price. So Cynthia Henderson will be our special guest in the second half of our program. Lots of things happening here, especially next week here at the New Thought Media Network. Reverend Robert will be going to Geneva, Switzerland for their annual spiritual conference over there next week. And the A-team of Diego and Pastor Michael Mangus will be assisting at the Celebration of Our Soul, a conference by people of African descent at Unity Village in Kansas City, August 11th through the 14th. Now, We were having a pre-discussion before we went on the air here. And I thought we were going to try to do a show from there, but my producer overruled me. He told me that we are going out to karaoke instead. Or, hey, Diego, how about we go out and get some soul food? Okay? All right. Thank you, Diego. We're going to have a great time in Kansas City. My first time going to Unity Village, so that'll be fun next week. All right, let's take a check on the news here. We had some interesting economic news today from CNN. Senator Kristen Sinema says that she will move forward with the Democrats' sweeping economic package, signaling key support that could give the party enough votes to push the bill through the Senate and onto the House for final approval. The Inflation Reduction Act is a much slimmer one than President Joe Biden's initial Build Back Better bill, but it would still represent the largest investment in energy and climate programs in the U.S. history. It would also extend expiring healthcare subsidies for 3 years and give Medicare the power to negotiate prescription drug prices. New taxes would help pay for it all. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says the final version of the bill will be introduced on Saturday. It will also have to be reviewed by the Senate parliamentarian, who will decide whether the bill is eligible for the filibuster-proof budget process that will allow Democrats to pass it along party lines. In other economic news, we received some good news today. The massive job surprise. The U.S. economy added 528,000 jobs in July. From CNN again, the U.S. economy now has regained all of the jobs during the pandemic after a blowout July jobs report that showed a gain of 528,000 jobs, according to the data released Friday by the Bureau of Labor Statistics. The massive monthly gain was more than double the 250,000 jobs that economists were expecting, according to Refinitiv. There you go. The unemployment rate ticked down to 3.5% after holding at 3.6% for the past 4 months. The July jobless rate matched the half-century low last seen in February 2020. And Friday's unemployment snapshot marks the 19th consecutive month of job growth and the highest monthly gain since the economy added 714,000 jobs in February. July's job totals outpaced the average monthly gain of 388,000 jobs of the past 4 months, the Bureau of Labor Statistics data shows. You know what? It's nice to get some good news about the economy. So how are you doing economically? Let's bring it down to you. It's during interesting times like these that we get to see where our prosperity consciousness is at. So for all my New Thought students out there, remember that no matter what is going on in the economy, that God or Spirit is the source of our supply. And I'm always reminded, now prosperity teacher Catherine Ponder, she held her first prosperity class in Birmingham, Alabama during the 1950s. That was during a time of deep recession in that area. So out of Dr. Ponder's class came several millionaires practicing prosperity principles. So my question to you is this: what great ideas are waiting and wanting to come through you? Now is a good time to see what you believe about money and supply. We have news about Breonna Taylor this evening. 4 current and former Louisville police officers have finally been federally charged with civil rights violations, unlawful conspiracies, unconstitutional use of force, and obstruction in relation to the deadly raid on the home of Breonna Taylor in 2020. Court documents from the Attorney General, Merrick Garland, lay out the particulars. Former Detective Joshua Janes, Detective Kelly Goodlett, and Sergeant Kyle Meany are accused of submitting a false affidavit to search Taylor's home and conspiring to cover up their actions afterwards by creating more false information. Ex-detective Brett Hankinson also faces charges. Taylor, a 26-year-old emergency room tech, was shot and killed in her apartment during a flawed forced entry and no-knock raid in March of 2020. Her death, along with the deaths of several other Black citizens at that time, sparked a summer of protest calling for justice reform. For all of those who watch the Friday evening Fireside Chat, you know that I live and work and have my being in Akron, Ohio. And we've had a quiet week. It was 4 weeks ago that we had the fatal shooting of Jalen Walker, who was shot 46 times by police. So I know that in the background, our local politicians are being pressured to hold the police department accountable through reforms. And the subject of a citizen review panel here in Akron may be put on the November ballot. The most important thing that we can do this fall is vote. Look what happens when individuals get out to vote. In Kansas this past week, they voted to continue a woman's right for an abortion. And that was because that individuals got up and went to vote. And I was reminded this week in my ministerial continuing ed class, I was asked the question, what is our motive for protesting? Is it against something or is it for something? And again, many Unity churches were involved in the protest in Kansas and getting out the vote. They had as their motive for a woman's right to choose. So let's be for peace here and justice and all the things that we want to see in our world. As we talked about last Sunday in Centers for Spiritual Living, there is no other. We can't demonize the other side or what we think of as the other side. We have to, again, through legislation, through loving discussion, through bringing this up so that we can solve it. And again, that does not say that we don't have work in our own consciousness to do. That whenever there is something that comes up, again, that it's not to blame, but it's to say, what is in my consciousness that may be contributing to this? And I had to throw in something, Diego's favorite subject, the virus of the week. The Biden administration has declared monkeypox a public health emergency. The designation will allow for more attention and resources going towards mitigating the virus. The White House has named a national monkeypox coordinator, and health officials are now considering whether to change the way that monkeypox vaccine is administered to allow for a smaller but equally effective dose. Since the first U.S. monkeypox case was detected in the United States in mid-May, cases have been identified in every state except Montana and Wyoming. The Biden administration has been heavily criticized for waiting so long to formally address the outbreak as an emergency. Well, thank you, news media, for doing one favor and for not making this a gay disease like AIDS. Again, just take care of yourself out there. Follow the CDC and WHO guidelines here. Yes, once again, Diego's favorite story, COVID-19. It's still with us here in my Ohio County of Summit. We have just been placed on red alert status here because of the upticks in hospitalizations and infections. And some public areas, including some of the colleges that will be starting up during the month of August, they are requiring masks again. So again, just be loving here. I have always supported for the past couple of years. And again, it's your choice here. But again, from what I have read, what I've studied, again, the vaccines are effective. Now, you still may get it right now. However, you're not going to be hospitalized. It'll be a milder case. So please, 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 please be loving, keep a high consciousness, and do unto others as you would want done unto you. Diego, we are at 17 minutes and 45 seconds. Does that mean that you buy me an extra drink next week in Kansas City? All right. Let's do some announcements and then we'll have on stress reduction expert meditation teacher Cynthia Henderson, who will tell us how to beat the stress of everyday living. But first, let's go to our announcements here. Yours truly is parking himself at Summit Center for Spiritual Living, Summit CSL. For more information, go to summitcsl.org. There and only there, you will find information about our wonderful Sunday gathering online at 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific time. Yes, we do have people from the West Coast wake up early on a Sunday morning and come visit us. So grab your cup of coffee, your tea, your espresso, whatever wakes you up in the morning, and please join us. We do have one of the best services in New Thought. Our music is mostly original. We have great meditation times, and also we do have wonderful messages. And so this Sunday, we will have the one and only Pastor Michael Mangus talk about the one and only. Yes, I know it's from last Sunday in CSL, but again, my community didn't hear it, so I thought I would present it to them this Sunday. So go to Diego's cracking up in the background. Hey, listen, they didn't hear it last Sunday. They did a different topic. So, why not a repeat? It came out really good. Okay. So go to summitcsl.org for more information on how to join our Zoom call. Our service is also simulcast on the Summit Spiritual Center of Akron Facebook page and also our Facebook page. Also has past broadcasts to the Fireside Chat and also yours truly when he does prayer here on the New Thought Media Network, which will be this evening at 10:15 Eastern Time, 8:15 Mountain Time. There is so much happening here at the New Thought Media Network. Again, it would take me a couple of hours to explain it. And Diego told me that I have 1 hour because he has to feed Winston the pig. And Winston will be very grumpy if he's not fed on time. So that's why we're telling you to go onto the website, ntmedia.org, Go there, take a look at all the programs that we have. We have daily prayer, we have classes on meditation, our prosperity class on Sunday evenings with Jim Webb is out of sight. We've had some really world-class guests on talking about eliminating the blocks to our natural prosperity. And so I'm going to ask you this evening, please consider a donation. Our monthly donors partner with us to get this powerful message to the world. We have the technology now. We're able to broadcast from our homes here to the whole wide world with a broadcast quality. That's exciting to me and for me because I really, again, I enjoy talking to people not only in this country, but again, around the world. We have the opportunity to reach individuals with this positive, practical spirituality. So join us, please. ntmedia.org/donate. Give a very generous one-time gift, or you may do like I do and be a sustaining donor. Each and every month is that a certain amount of money is taken out of my account so that, again, the sustaining donor amount really helps us set budgets. That's where we get bandwidth. That's where we pay the bills. That's how Winston, the Wonder Pig, gets fed. So please help us. We always appreciate it. So just go to ntmedia.org/donate. And thank you very much. We're going to take a break right now, and we'll be back with meditation teacher Cynthia Henderson. You are in tune with the Friday Fireside Chat here on your New Thought Media Network.
New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
The views and opinions expressed by Pastor Michael Mangus are generally right. However, they are his own and do not reflect the views and opinions of New Thought Media Network, Centers for Spiritual Living, or any other person living or dead. As they say in the 12-Step Recovery Program, take what you like and leave the rest. Here again is Pastor Michael.
So it is my pleasure to introduce to you someone who's been on our show before. Cynthia Henderson is a divine light meditator, and she was initiated at the Oneness University in Chennai, India. She's also certified as a mindfulness meditator and teacher by the School of Positive Transformation. She is a master certified facilitator for the Myers-Briggs, and also she recently completed Deepak Chopra's certification in primordial sound meditation. How cool is that? Cynthia graces the stages of not only churches, but also corporations. And we'll be talking about stress and also how that we can lessen the stress, especially the day-to-day that we've been experiencing here recently. So it is my pleasure to introduce to you my guest this evening, Cynthia Henderson. Good evening, ma'am. Welcome.
Hello, Pastor Michael. Thank you so much for having me back. I'm so happy to be here.
Listen, I'll tell you, when I was in Chicago and graduating, I really missed our buddy, the Reverend Dr.
Yes.
Charlotte Manning. I mentioned her from the stage because I know that she'd been after me for years. For years to get done with the education. So I know that she was pretty happy with that. Yeah. So anyhow, well, Cynthia, how are you been doing? I know you've been busy with doing a lot of seminars and things all across the country. So where have you been since the last time we met?
Ooh, all over the country. It's heating up again, and we're doing a lot of in-person trainings, the virtual ones, but in-person, and working with corporations and nonprofit organizations as well. Really looking at just training on some of them, how to move through this experience. We're coming back from the pandemic closed down experience to being more engaged and active in the world, and moving from that closed in, let me just take care of me experience, to opening up and connecting with other people, going back to the office, and just the hustle and bustle of getting things done. People are highly stressed these days, and the stress is just interesting to watch. A lot of people see that they're stressed, but they don't know what to do about it. They feel that they're stressed, and they are just, I think, in a place of paralyzation, really. They're just stuck, and they don't know what to do. And how to move through that stuckness is what a lot of them are needing, not only in the professional life, but the personal life as well. And spiritual folks are no different. We know it, but we get there too. We go right there with being stuck, because we know, especially our new thought folks, we know it. And we know that we know it, but we forget to apply it. And when it happens to us, it's like, okay, I'm in the grips of it again. Here we go. How are we going to deal with this? And here's an opportunity to just stop and think for a moment and just hold what you know to be true. And what you know to be true is that sometimes we see the problems as insurmountable problems, that we cannot deal with it. It's just huge, forgetting who we are and whose we are. But this problem is insurmountable. And a lot of times this is a huge one that a lot of people have a challenge with. And that's accepting that change is a part of life. If you keep living and breathing, it will change. And I think I may have told you before about my mentor, Ms. Lillian Thompson, lives still in Tuskegee, Alabama. She's 102. She has so much wisdom to share. But one of her basic ones is change is a part of life. And how you adapt to it, how do you adjust to it, it makes all the difference in the world. She is the least stressed person I have ever seen in my life. She is my role model on this planet. She just moves through life, mind clear as a bell. She just stopped driving, but mind clear as a bell. Yeah, Tuskegee, watch out, because she was driving on the streets, but she just decided she's going to stop.
Good for all the people in Tuskegee. Okay, go ahead.
So, the stress, and one of the things that she has shared with me and what I've learned, and I share also, is that we've got to look at every day you live, things will change. When you wake up today with a new ache that you didn't have yesterday, people will change, situations will change. And the opportunity is to just flow through it and go through it. And remember that our thoughts, especially the new thought folks, our thoughts create our realities. And we keep forgetting that. And I'm guilty too. Now, I am so guilty of that sometimes. I forget I'm over here thinking of something, and here it comes. I'm like, okay, I think I brought that to me. I believe I'm attracting that to me. The law of attraction is at work.
Yes.
I am holding it. I'm giving it energy because we are so powerful. We give it energy. And when it shows up, we're going to be surprised. Yeah, right. So if I were just to share anything else, the thoughts in terms of keeping a positive attitude, knowing who we are, whose we are. And again, when you're in the middle of stress, you forget that. You don't think about that. And you just want to focus on just your situation versus keeping the perspective. It is what it is. Okay, remember who you are, and then decide the action you want to take as to how you do it. Now, there's some actions, but I'll just stop and take a breath there for some of the energy that goes into why we end up in these spaces, and we're all in it.
Yes. Well, good evening, everyone. You're watching the Friday Evening Fireside Chat here on the New Thought Media Network. We have as our special guest this evening, meditation teacher and also corporate trainer, Cynthia Henderson. Again, if you'd like more information about her work, go to meditatewithcynthia.com, meditatewithcynthia.com. There you can get her scheduled classes, and also you can get a personalized meditation done by probably one of the best guided meditation individuals that I have ever met. Her guided meditations are wonderful. So again, if you go to meditatewithcynthia.com. So what are especially your corporate clients, what are they asking for? What are some of the challenges and what are some of the things that you're offering them with this big shift in work? We went ahead and we went to at home, and now we're coming back to more of a hybrid, and some folk, they still want to stay at home. So talk to us about what are some of the things that they're asking for, and what are some of the things that you are sharing with your audiences?
It's a lot of it's accepting the stresses at work. And because you are now back into the office environment, there's a high stress environment as well. And it's because people create that. It's very competitive. When you're at home, you have a different flow. But back in the office, it is not only the work itself and with the competition with that, but also COVID is still running around. It has not gone anywhere. And how to be safe. And if you've got family members at home that have immune compromised bodies, then how do you deal with that and the fear that goes with that? And how do you move through this? Plus the heavy volume of work. And as people are going out, a lot of the corporate folks are going out to meet with other corporate people or their clients or the businesses. So how do you maintain that sense of peace and not have a sense of fear? Because there's a lot of fear. You may not express it. You may not say it on one part or the other. There's fear that you could be bringing me COVID in every interaction that I have. Wow. And so that stress alone is major. I mean, just think about that. Everybody you interact with, you don't know if they have something, you can't touch them, or in their office, you try and always walk around and just have the clean environment, but still be centered and professional. That's a challenge. That plus the competition for the work and going into the schedule now where you're not at home anymore. And if they have kids at home, they got to figure out what to do with that. And if they've got to just figure out how do they make all of this work, and going back into that environment. And then a lot of them don't want to go back. So that's the other part. A lot of them want the hybrid environment. They want to stay at work from home, thinking that they're more productive. And the resistance to going back, plus the competition and going back, plus the uncertainty of your health, there's a recipe for stress.
And for all of my New Thought folks out there, recently, and I'm not going to say what denomination, but recently there was a gathering of ministers. And guess what happened?
COVID.
Over 100 of them came down with COVID symptoms. So that's why I'm saying here that please take care of yourself when you go out there. Again, COVID has not gone away. Now, yes, we are a lot more mobile than we were a couple of years ago. We're able to go out and, do some of the things that we used to do, but still that we have to be careful. I know that at the event that Diego and I were at Christ Universal Temple, everyone had to wear a mask, whether or not that they were vaccinated. It didn't matter. Is that, again, that's about taking care of not only ourselves, but other people. So that's why I say, again, if your minister or your church board asked you to put a mask on again, please do so. Again, we just received word here in Akron that our county is under a red alert now because of the uptick in COVID. So please just take care of yourself. Know that it's out there again. No, don't be afraid. But again, don't be stupid. Excuse my French, but please just take care of yourself. Wear a mask when they ask you to. Again, I'm very picky about where I go these days. So anyhow, so talk to us, Cynthia, about what you are sharing on how to cope with this change, this big change again of going back to work and being in the everyday stream of things. Talk to us about how you are, or what you're teaching everyone on what to do here.
So one of the things that I talk about the most is you just shared, make sure that you're taking all the precautions to keep yourself safe. And that's primary. You got to have that as a foundation before you go do anything else. So now that you've taken those precautions to keep yourself safe, then really start to look at your thinking. How are you choosing to experience whatever this is? Am I thinking this is the worst thing ever? This is going to be a good experience. I'm going to get done X, Y, and Z. I'm going to show up like this. I'm going to have this experience. What are you thinking? What are you believing that's going to happen? What thoughts are you holding? And just know that whatever thoughts you're having, that's what's going to materialize in your life. And I urge them, when it does overwhelm you, and sometimes it will, when life, the situations, the work experience overwhelms you, just stop for a moment and take a few deep breaths. People are absolutely amazed at how 2 to 3 deep breaths can just change everything. And I mean, just stop. Deep breath from the gut, deep breathe in to the count of 4, hold it for the count of 2, and release it slowly to the count of 4. And deep breath in from your gut, through your nose to the count of 4. Hold it to the count of 2 and release it slowly to the count of 4. And when you finish, you just move into a whole nother realm. And now you begin to just relax a minute. Because sometimes you be on edge with stuff and you're ready to versus just relax. And just in those moments when you relax, you allow your creator to come in. You allow your creator to just be with you through this experience, to guide you, to help you understand, what do I do in this situation if you're challenged with it? But breathing is critical. I believe in that so much, and we walk around with it and we just don't even use it. And that to me is important. But beyond the breathing, I believe that exercise also keeps us moving and keeps the body parts working, whether it's walking or jogging or doing strength training, whatever it is we're doing, but just moving the body. And you don't have to do a whole lot of moving. Just move it more than just from here to here, from your leg to your neck. Move the body a little bit and just move it. And however you choose it.
Or doing 12-ounce curls.
Oh, yes.
Yes, that's the beer or the pop. Yes, that's right. That's not exercise, by the way, but go ahead.
You could do strength training with that, though. But moving the body a little bit does help. Breathing is also critical for it. I believe in being present in the moment. And this is what I really do tell a lot of the people, to be present in the moment. Take it all in. Just breathe it all in. Not try to think about your to-do list, what you haven't done, what you got to do. Just go outside and look at the trees, especially in the summertime and the springtime. Just look at the trees. Look at the greenery on the trees. Look at the birds. Look at the flowers. Do not allow the thoughts of work to come into your brain. Let them pass by and only take in what you're seeing. Just notice the trees, the color of the green, and how the light hits the leaves, and how the wind blows against the trees. Notice how the birds just flying around without a care in the world, and yet we're over here stressed. Remember, and this is what I've been telling them lately, remember, we are one galaxy out of millions of galaxies here, and we got a creator that's off the hook great. And if we got a challenge that's big, all we got to remember is we are a part of a dynamic expression and experience called planet Earth. And this Milky Way, along with all of the rest of the galaxies out here and the ones beyond it, the millions of them, it just makes you stop and think, whoa, my creator's great. It's awesome. It's off the hook great. What am I worried about? The creator that made that and made each and every one of us individuals, that no two of us are alike, no two thumbprints, no two snowflakes, no two tree leaves, no two flower petals, no two birds, nothing is alike. No two grains of sand. Oh, we are so blessed. We are so magnificent. We let that crap get in our brain and we keep it there. And then we get worried, we get upset, we get overwhelmed because we forget who we are. So I went to preaching, I know.
Amen, sister. Hallelujah. Yes. Always reminds me of when Charlotte would start. I used to kid Charlotte. I used to say, you know what? I'd ask one question and then she'd go off for 10 minutes. During that time, I could have made a sandwich, went to the restroom, and then came back and she'd still be talking. You know, one of the gifts I've given myself here in the past year has been the gift of being vulnerable with a coach. I have a standing appointment with my ministerial coach every couple of weeks. People don't understand that a lot of times, especially in ministry, that there's not a whole lot of people that you can share what is going on in you. That's right. Because you're constantly dealing with other people. So one of the gifts that has really helped me, and I'm going to continue to take advantage of, again, is my ministerial coach, who, again, somebody who I can just get real with and just say, listen, this is what's going on with me, without being silent. Again, that one of the transitions during this time of change has been that a lot of pulpits are becoming empty. And that's because the people have said, hey, listen, enough's enough here. I need to go do something else. And again, this is happening not only in Protestant churches, but it's also happening in New Thought churches also. Again, take a look at the list of people that, and the pulpits and the congregations are looking for new ministers, because again, the people want some type of change. But again, to be able to handle that, you have to have a plan of having people who you are responsible to, that you are responsible to for your behavior, and also for a place that you're able to share without being judged. So for me, I have to pay for that. Okay. And it's worth every penny, because for me, it really just having someone there who's in my shoes, who goes ahead and just, you know, he'll share a few things and then I'll share a few things. And then again, that out of that really comes for me, it got me a lot clearer about what am I supposed to do in ministry? Because for 6 or 8 months, I was saying, well, you know, what am I to do? I'm a lot clearer about what I want now. Again, using the principles of our teaching of New Thought is, okay, what do I want? And I think the other thing too, especially, I'll just talk on the ministerial side, this whole idea of self-care. You know, people who take care of other people, many times that we're lousy at self-care. And what I'm going to share with you is that, again, Cynthia goes into these organizations and she teaches people, you know, not only stress reduction, but also meditation. I'm going to suggest to you today for those of you who are watching, if you are too busy to meditate, you are too busy. If you're too busy to go out there and put the tennis shoes on and go and walk around the block because you have too much work to do, again, you are too busy. From my counseling practice and also from experience, if you continue that way, the candle is going to burn down to nothing. So that's especially all of my caregivers out there, the people, especially the people in the hospitals who have been dealing with this tremendous amount of stress here. Again, the whole idea of taking care of yourself first, the oxygen masks come down. You're to put yours on first in the plane before you do with anybody else. So talk to us about what are you recommending for self-care, especially for the organizations that you go into with a lot of people who do give care.
So you started it with put the oxygen mask on yourself first, and then you can take care of others. You cannot take care of you if your glass is half empty and you constantly pouring into somebody else. You got to refill yours first. And I use meditation as a tool for refueling me. That is the one that I enjoy the most. And it's recharging myself, just like I recharge the cell phone. That's one of the taglines we use, because I strongly believe that we take better care of our cell phones than we do of ourselves. And so if I were just to turn around and look at me and to really value me, what are my priorities? I have a priority of doing X, Y, and Z, but in order to make that happen, I've got to be whole. I've got to be ready. I've got to be in top-notch shape to make that happen. And so often we turn it around. We've been conditioned to turn it around and say, I got to take care of this person. I got to take care of this situation. Got to take care of this situation. First, you got to take care of yourself. And I love what you said about having a ministerial coach, one that you could go to with the challenges, your experiences, and they're non-judgmental and share a perspective that you may or may not have thought of, or just listen to it from another perspective. That is so important. And sometimes we don't do that. Again, we get too busy. So we say, oh, I don't have the money to do that. Oh, I don't need that. Yes, you do. Just to have an outlet to just let it out. My mother was a psychiatric nurse, and she used to tell me from an early age, there's more room out than in. And I thought she was saying that as she was walking through the room releasing gas. That's what I thought she meant. But what I found out later, she was talking about you can't keep all of this clogged up inside of you and if you're going to operate normally. There's more room out than in. So if you're feeling something, say it. Express it. So my advice is say what's on your mind. Be respectful, but say what's on your mind and do it in a timely manner so you don't carry it all around with you, because you're harboring whatever it is. Other people forgot all about it. They're moving on about their lives, but you keep harboring it on and carrying it forward. And how to do that with ease, and especially for the people that are taking care of other folks, it's remembering that yes, I'm taking care of you, but it's also important to take care of me. And what is my priority? You are a priority to me, but I got to be a priority too. And I got to put me first. And people are, that drives folks a wrong way sometimes. I got to put me first sometimes. I got to put me first so I can take care of you. So what do I need? And don't be ashamed to say it and to do it. I need a day of rest. I need some relaxation. I need to release some of this stress. I need to go and breathe. I need to go and walk. I need to go to exercise. I need to go get a massage. I need to go watch a play. I need to go watch a movie. I need to go play tennis, basketball, baseball, or just go sit up and look at the sky. Whatever you need, go do it. But you got to know what you require and really own that and make yourself a priority. Then you can turn around and deal with others. But a lot of that is sometimes it gets to, then after you're ready to deal with others, I got to check my thinking, because sometimes my thinking wants to just pull in crap. what perspective do I hold? What am I really thinking? What am I believing? What am I experiencing? And whatever I'm experiencing, as new thought, is related to what you're thinking.
Right.
So what are you thinking? And what are you bringing to you? And don't blame somebody else for this showing up. You thinking this. Whatever's happening in your life, you thought it. You brought it. That's the way our Creator made us.
Yes. So, amen, sister. If you're wondering what you're watching this evening, this is a Friday evening fireside chat here on the New Thought Media Network with Pastor Michael Mangus. I have with us this evening our special guest, Cynthia Henderson, who is a meditation teacher and also stress reduction expert. So you brought up a good point about, again, changing your thinking. People, again, and I share them with not only my clients, but my congregation. The psychologists say that we think anywhere between 40 and 80,000 thoughts a day. So what people don't realize what they're thinking. So what I do is I give them a pad of paper and a pen, and I say, what I want you to do is just sit with yourself and just write down your stream of consciousness here. If you're wondering why you're feeling that way, it's because, again, that you're thinking that way. So to be able to, again, to change your thinking, you're going to have to notice what you're thinking first, which a lot of, again, because of that 40 to 80,000 thoughts, that's really hard to pinpoint. But if you go ahead and you write this down and you say, do I really want to experience? What do I want to experience instead? Go to the next page and then write down what, again, some positive thoughts that are aligned with spirit. I think, again, that it's not just, changing the subconscious, but it's aligning with spirit. It's aligning with the thoughts of God that are manifesting as us. So I wanted to ask you this question because I was curious about this. I can just see some of the corporations and some of the people who you go to, and they'll say, well, we have to go see that woo-woo lady today who's going to teach us how to spread fairy dust all over the place. The reason I say this is because when I tried to introduce some meditation practices to when I was working in county government. Oh man, it was like pulling teeth. So when you go into these organizations, what are some of the things that you share with them to make meditation less woo-woo?
Well, it all depends on how you approach it. And for me, when they get to me, I have fun with it. I first got to get them relaxed because I know how people are seeing meditation as woo-foo, she, okay, some other planet, whatever. And again, it goes into what's in it for them. And I start out with what's in it for you? Why would you meditate? What's in it for you? What do you get out of this? Okay, so you would sit still. It lowers your blood pressure, reduces your stress, reduces your anxiety. You get better clarity. You get better focus. You are more peaceful. You're more connected. You're more in tune. And you move through and stuff doesn't bother you. Well, after I get through listing off all the things that they get out of it, what's in it for them? Now you want to know how to get there? Let me show you how. And I go through the process of, it's about breathing and what thoughts are you holding? And it doesn't happen overnight. Some of them want, like, instantly fix me. Okay, it doesn't work like that either. This is a process. It's a process of what are you thinking? What are you holding? What are you believing? How to get in alignment. And it's a process where you just slow down, relax, relate, release, open up. And it doesn't happen the first time, but the continued practice and you continually doing it, you're going to see that you are just moving through life much calmer, much easier. And I really give them, because all these folks are deadline driven. Okay, give it a month. Just give it 1 month. And to do it, if you could do it twice a week for a month, just give it a month for, and sometimes they don't want to do it more than 5 or 10 minutes. Okay, 5 or 10 minutes, twice a week for a month. And just look at the difference. And sometimes it's just small bites to just chop off and just to see the results. Because again, I want to see the result of what you're giving me. And at the end of that time period, and you give them a deadline, and the end of the time period, look and see where they are now, dealing with the topic as to where they started. And they see a difference. And so it's getting them started with it. But I have to tell you, one of the biggest challenges I've seen in corporations, and this is the big, huge, huge one, and that is that a lot of the professionals in some of the corporations are so interested in what everybody else thinks of them that they don't know what they think of themselves. Wow. And that was a huge eye-opener. And I understood it. That is the impact of social media that wasn't there before. So you add social media, COVID, lockdown, and coming back to the world, and everybody moving real fast. Well, no wonder these people are stressed. But helping them to understand and to really look at, who are you? How do you choose to be on this planet? What are you about? Not what everybody thinks about you, because all of these other people got opinions. And I got to tell you, I got pushback from that. The pushback was, well, we ought to be concerned what other people think. Like, well, yeah. After you are concerned about what you think. What do you think about you? What do you think about the way you're doing it, how you're showing it? What do you think? Then you can get their opinion. But you got to be grounded, so otherwise you'll be flapping from one opinion to another. And that's what they're doing with social media. And that's why these people are so stressed.
And the benefits that Cynthia just said, there have been hundreds of peer-reviewed research on meditation. And what Cynthia just said about lower blood pressure, better immune response, all of those benefits have been proven, again, in study after study after study after study. So again, if you're not meditating on a regular basis, you're too busy. I'm sorry to tell you that today. We have 2.5 minutes left. If you'd like more information about Cynthia Henderson, meditatewithcynthia.com. Also, if you could, you can get a customized meditation that Cynthia will be happy to do with you. Are you doing any classes now that are open?
I'm not doing any virtual ones yet, but we haven't developed a schedule for the fall yet, but not yet. And I got to tell you, that was a divine idea to do the personalized meditations. That was straight from my creator. And I just said, okay, that's what you want me to do. Fine, got it. Moving on. But the classes will start. We'll probably come up with the schedule for the fall. We're working on that now.
Cynthia leads probably one of the best guided meditations that I've ever experienced. And so we're going to do some type of continuing education here with her, hopefully, to teach other practitioners how to do the same thing. Cynthia Henderson, thank you so very much. More information on her, go to meditatewithcynthia.com and see what she's doing. She's also available for not only churches, but also for corporate events. And again, if you want your atmosphere to be less stressed, again, hire Cynthia, have her come in. Cynthia Henderson, thank you so very much for being on the program. And again, thank you for being my friend. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you.
All right, time for us to go here. Have a wonderful week. We will see you probably in a couple of weeks here. Diego and I will be going to Uni Village here next week to help them with their audiovisual. But again, thank you so very much. Thank you for the support of our network. Go to ntmedia.org/donate, and please consider giving to this wonderful thing that we're doing here. On behalf of myself and my producer, Diego Reyes, and also Cynthia Henderson, I'm Pastor Michael Mangus, and I'm wishing you a great week.
Thanks for joining us this evening for Friday's Fireside Chat with Pastor Michael Mangus. Join us again next week at 8 Eastern, 6 Mountain for more spiritual conversations for today. For more information and replays of past shows, please visit the New Thought Radio and Media Network's Facebook page. Until next week, may God bless you richly and abundantly.